Hello and welcome to Games Jobs Live from the Midlands. Great to see all the dancing emojis in the Discord already. If this is your first Games Jobs Live event, I'm Colin McDonald. I've worked in the UK games industry for over 30 years now, and I've literally grown up playing some of the games that some of the companies here today have produced in the past. But clearly, I'm not from the Midlands, so I'm delighted to introduce our host for this afternoon, that's someone who is, Mr. Simon Hill.
Thank you
so much for joining us,
This
Simon.
is great. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's great to be here. Such a cool platform doing awesome things. So really appreciate the invitation.
No, fantastic to have you. To kick us off, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and also a little bit about the local games
Absolutely,
industry?
yeah. So a little bit about me. I'll try and do this as quick as possible, Colin, because my life story is just all over the place. But I started in presenting when I was 19 years of age. I really loved this radio show on Kerrang Radio called Tim Shaw's Asylum, and I used to really listen to this show religiously. And I remember the presenter, Tim Shaw, used to go on and he used to say, if anyone wants to come and sit in the show and see how it all unfolds, because it was like a big production that happened, on the radio. So it was unheard of. And I was this 19-year-old kid who knew nothing about what I wanted to do at the time, who used to sit in the corner of the studio watching my favorite radio show unfold. And I remember just watching it all every Monday. And it was incredible. This show ran 5 days a week. And I eventually got a call as they needed a new runner. And this was just a dream to me, to be invited not just to a radio station that I loved, but to a show I listened to religiously. And I just worked hard and grafted as hard as I possibly could to be involved in that. And eventually got a contract with Kerrang, worked there for 3 years, went on to other radio stations after that, and then landed myself in TV and stage shows. And I got into the gaming industry through, I actually pitched my own TV show called News to Gamers, which broadcast, all through the country on local TV stations for just over a year and a half. And that was incredible. So that was my way in. And I was a broadcast journalist, writing reviews, working with all these incredible publishers and developers. And then I would go on to host various stage shows such as Just Dance World Cup, Machinima Live, so many cool opportunities, appearing on PlayStation Access, which again was a dream for me. So it was one of those that I just worked really hard at. And then I would take a break from presenting and actually go into the gaming industry itself as a community manager for Deep Silver and Koch Media, where I would be very fortunate and very privileged to have credits in such games as Shenmue 3, Metro Exodus, and so many other awesome IPs. I would work on such games as F1 with the guys at Codemasters. I can't wait to speak to those guys a little later, as well as F1, Grid, and so many more. I'm kind of just name dropping here. But it was one of those where I just found myself in love with the business, not just presenting, but the gaming industry in itself. And, that is me in a nutshell. There's so much more, but I won't bore you with that. But in terms of the gaming industry here in the Midlands, so this goes all the way back to the 80s with Codemasters and Rare, then called Ultimate Play the Game. Between the two companies, they were responsible for a huge portion of all 8-bit game sales, and have each gone on to make gaming history, especially with the likes of Colin McRae, GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, and so many more. Rare for me in the N64 days were, oh my gosh, like I still to this day hold that as one of my favorite times in the gaming world. After working with Codemasters on games such as the Dizzy series in the 90s, the Oliver twins then moved to Leamington. This is where they would set up what became Blitz Games. And the area acquired an early reputation as one of the UK's hubs of game development. By the late 90s, Core Design in Derby had then bought up what's now Square Enix. 1996, you may remember the one and only Tomb Raider game. pioneering the action adventure genre. Sorry, getting my words mixed up. I'm getting that excited here. And making Lara Croft into a household name. Codemasters and Rare are obviously still thriving and are joined in the region by many other prestigious studios. Ubisoft, Electric Square, Playground Games, Pixel Toys, Sega Hardlight, Deep Silver Dam Busters, Lockwood, and many, many more. They've all brought to the area and what's renowned as a high quality of gaming in the Midlands. So that's a little bit of insight into the history of the gaming industry in the Midlands. How was that, Colin?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, so many names that are just familiar, you know, and hopefully to everyone that's watching as well. So many great games, so many great studios. It's certainly an area that's punched well above its weight, hasn't it?
It has indeed, and so many incredible IPs to come out of those studios as well.
Absolutely. Simon, for the fun bit, I'm going to leave this to you, but just in terms of some housekeeping, I know we've got a lot of people that have been to several Games Jobs Live events, so apologies for repeating myself, but for those who are here for the first time, the whole point of these events is to make it easy for fantastic studios like we've got tonight to meet with, connect, and hopefully employ amazing talent. And hopefully that's why you're watching this afternoon, to find out what opportunities these companies have. They're looking for people right across the board. Some have got graduate positions, some have got senior positions, some are open to people coming across from other industries, and we know you've all got an amazing array of backgrounds and experience and different approaches to bring. So we want to see as many connections made as possible. Each company only gets a few minutes to present themselves, because otherwise this would last all day. So, you know, do watch their presentations. It's amazing that they've given up their time to come on and tell us all a bit about themselves. But really, you want to follow up and chat to them. All the companies are in the Discord right now. They each have a dedicated channel. And if I just bring up the Discord link, if I've not lost it. So it's going to scroll across the bottom of the screen throughout the entire live stream. So you want to be on the Discord, just punch into a browser, discord.gamesjobs.live. That's discord.gamesjobs.live. Get into the Discord. Each of the companies have a dedicated channel, and in there, they're going to be there to answer all your questions for the next 2 hours, basically until 6 o'clock, as long as you're watching this live. Ask away. At about 5:30, you'll get an email with URLs to all the jobs that all the companies have mentioned today. So get on and chat to them in the Discord, but then follow up by applying directly or emailing them afterwards. But this is your chance to chat to them. All the people from the companies should be highlighted in green, I think, with a company role, so that you know they're official. But whatever role they have, don't give out any personal details. You will get URLs to apply to jobs direct to the companies. Don't give out any personal details to anyone else in the Discord. We have had a couple of idiots in the past, but all the companies and myself can obviously just delete or ban anyone that posts any nonsense or asks you for anything they shouldn't. We'll have a little quiz at the end just to check everyone's been paying attention throughout the presentations. So in the past, we've had people taking notes and everything. There's nothing to win other than the undying respect of us all. And if you're enjoying this, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. We have done these from a bunch of different regions. We'll continue doing so as long as there's demand for it. So please do subscribe to the channel. And I would just like to thank various people behind the scenes that have helped bring this together. Lisa Lindsay, Jordan Erica Weber, various other people that have promoted it. Thank you so much for spreading the word about these events. It's useful for the studios. It's useful for everyone that's wanting to get into the studios. So thank you very much. And I would also like to say a big thank you to Barclays, who have kindly sponsored tonight's event. What I'd like to do is just play you a very quick video from Barclays.
Like you'll ever get paid to play video games, they said. You've gone on to become players, creators, fans, all in one huge and growing community. Video games bring us closer, even when we're apart, and Barclays has seen this. We've been partnering with the likes of Yuki, Women in Games, Tiger, and Game Republic. We know that gaming's many faces can truly make a positive impact. We're there with you, whether you're making the next great game or just looking forward to playing it. Squad up, we're Barclays.
So thank you again to Barclays for helping make this happen. You've probably heard enough of a Scottish voice, and I want to leave you with local voices from now on. So Simon, I'll just hand over to you.
Thank you very much, Colin. And yes, a huge thank you to our sponsors, Barclays. Let's kick off our event with one of the most renowned studios in the industry, including Codemasters we've got a little later, Ubisoft Leamington and Electric Square Games. They're all to come. But first, we're going to be joined by Ubisoft Leamington and Aaron. Aaron, welcome to Games Jobs Live. Thank you so much for joining us.
How you doing, Simon? Nice to be here.
Very, very well, my friend. How are you? How is life at Ubi? You've got a complicated... I want you to tell the fun story you were telling me off air, actually.
Yeah, so I've actually been here for about 6 months, and I've been to the studio once. Mainly, well, that was at my interview because I started during lockdown, on the first day of lockdown. So it's been an interesting onboarding process, but it's actually been really, really exciting. There's, really, really supportive. There's been a lot of, cool stuff going on and a lot of cool stuff sent out to us as well, which has been nice. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Wow, what a story. Starting the job on the day of lockdown, you've been there 6 months now, been into your studio where your new home is once, but you're still there. How is remote work for you? It's
great, to be honest. I mean, the guys in IT and support services have really sort of pulled it together to make sure everything is nice and comfortable, and make sure that we've got all the equipment we need and all access to all the things that we need. So yeah, I mean, it's been pretty seamless, to be honest.
That's awesome news. Now you're here to tell us about some cool things going on in Ubisoft Leamington. So I guess it's time for you to do all the talking instead of people listening to me just ramble on.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
Go for it.
I'll just share my screen if it lets me. Okay, hopefully you can all see this. So a bit about me first of all. So I'm Aaron, the Senior Talent Acquisition Specialist at Ubisoft Leamington. It's a picture of me giving too much affection to my traumatized looking dog. Few of the games that I've sort of grown up playing, really. I mean, my favourite one is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past on SNES, absolute classic. But at the moment, I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty Warzone, currently going through the Tony Hawk's remake, and a bit of nostalgia with the Final Fantasy VII original game as well. But I'm really looking forward to a couple of our releases, Far Cry 6 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And again, being a big Call of Duty fan, Black Ops Cold War is one I'm looking forward to. But less about me and more about the studio. So in terms of Ubisoft Leamington, so we were previously Freestar Games, who were an Activision studio up until 2017 when they were acquired. And at that point, there were approximately 30 people that joined the Ubisoft family, and they immediately began working on Tom Clancy's The Division. So we're the sister company of Ubisoft Reflections up in Newcastle, who've been, a big player in the games industry for sort of since about 1984. You probably know some of the Driver games and Destruction Derby games from back in the day that used to bring us so much joy. And our mission here is really to sort of drive excellence and sort of continue to create outstanding experiences for all of our players. So, if getting involved in one of these sort of AAA Ubisoft IPs is your ambition, then Leamington or Newcastle is definitely the place to do that in the UK. Now, both of our studios, we function under one studio strategy. So essentially, we are one studio across 2 locations. So we collaborate on the same games. We've got the same managing director. We have the same support services. And in many cases, we can hire a specific position in either studio, which we hope makes us a bit more of an attractive prospect when considering a new challenge. When we acquired Leamington back in 2017, I mean, it was just the start of our ambitions to grow, and we've almost doubled the capacity of the studio since acquiring Freestyle back in 2017. So, you know, this is only going to continue now as we are co-leading an exciting new AAA project with Reflections. So the resources that we need mean that we're going to actually have to move into a new studio within Leamington fairly soon to support this growth. And sort of worldwide, you know, we're sort of exceeding around 18,000 people in the whole group. So in terms of games we've worked on at Leamington, we've worked as a co-dev studio on some awesome projects. So the Division 1, we did a lot of the sort of open world and side missions and sort of, you know, year 1 support. Division 2, we did animation, character, world, mission, UI, and we also did the Warlords DLC, which was pretty awesome. And then we've also collaborated with other studios on Starlink and Far Cry 5. So, you know, we've got some real good sort of catalogue of games that we've been involved with so far. Now, in terms of our world presence, our main goal is to attract talent from any continent. So our UK studios alone have over 25 different nationalities that bring, you know, their own individual experiences, and really, we hope, adds to the diversity of the games that we produce. If you're tuning in from outside of the UK, you're probably wondering how Brexit's going to affect things. So I can tell you that we are going to continue to hire people from the EU and even outside of the EU in certain cases. And we're going to still support all aspects of sort of transitioning that move to the UK. I mean, just to give you a bit of context, around about sort of 20% of our hires to our UK studios over the past 3 years have been from relocating talent from EU countries. So it's an important pillar of our recruitment strategy, and, you know, we're going to continue to build on that. If you want more information on that, jump in the Discord and drop us a message on there. And in terms of our sort of global presence, I mean, global sort of mobility is a big sort of plus point at Ubisoft. So once you join, you know, if you've been here a few years, you've completed a project and you want to move on to something slightly different, there's opportunities all over the world in our studios to, you know, move internally within Ubisoft to a different country and work on another exciting IP. So, you know, the opportunities within Ubisoft are endless, really. Now, I'm often asked by candidates, you know, what's the culture like at Ubisoft? I'd say we celebrate success, we balance risk versus reward, and we encourage people to put ideas forward. We're really, really proud to have achieved the Mind Gold Award, which means we've successfully embedded mental health into policies and practices, and utilising a variety of sort of best practices and approaches to demonstrate a long-term commitment to staff mental health. And our latest honour as well comes off the back of our studios being the first video game company to receive a REBA Wellbeing Award for the best new wellbeing strategy. And we also got highly commended in best mental wellbeing strategy as well. We've partnered with various charities. So locally, we've partnered with Mighton Hospice in Coventry, and also with Special Effects as well. You know, we want to help ensure that video games are fun, inclusive, accessible, and allow everyone to play at the best of their abilities, which we think is really important to support that charity. We also offer our team members a whole host of benefits as well, which are pretty awesome. So we've got flexible working hours, we've got you know, leadership development and support, we've got sort of you know, self-care and education for teams, and then we've also got, you know, the usual sort of private healthcare, public pension, we've got a tech allowance, we've got free games. There's so many more benefits I can go through, but it'll probably take me another 5 minutes. But in terms of living in Leamington, if you're not from around the area, so, you know, just to give you a few facts you might not know, so it's a massive social hub. It was actually named as the happiest place to live in the UK in 2019, and it's the fastest growing economy outside of London. And as you probably know, if you're tuning into this, it's a really sort of big gaming, TV, film, and video hub, which is known in the UK as Silicon Spa these days, which is pretty awesome. So in terms of our team, Leamington and Reflections, it's crammed full of talented people. So joining any Ubisoft studio, you get instant access to so many creative, talented, like-minded people, and there's a number of opportunities from joining on day one to really get stuck in and start speaking and collaborating with these people. We also hold 2 future sessions every year where we get together, we discuss what the future holds for Ubisoft and the development of our games. We get to share our achievements. Even myself and sort of the teams in the support and HR, we get to share our successes. And under normal circumstances, when we're not locked down, it will finish with a party. And not just this, I mean, many of the devs have attended GDC and many other events. We also have the Ubisoft Developers Conference, which is held annually in Montreal, which kind of brings together all the teams again from across the globe to share knowledge and spark discussion about the latest sort of solutions and innovations within Ubisoft. And another thing we're really proud of is kind of working with our communities as well. We do have a gaming school, which is a free 5-day event for sort of 14 to 17-year-olds to really kind of understand the key elements of game production, from sort of animation, programming, design, and art, etc. So you're probably thinking at this point, how do I join? Well, we've got all our careers advertised at this link here. There are currently around about 40 unique opportunities on our careers page, and we continue to open up new roles quite regularly. So we've got another ton of roles coming up over the next few months. As the majority of our recruitment is for our unannounced project that's early in development lifecycle, at the moment we're looking for a lot of sort of positions in a lot of lead positions in sort of engineering, design, art, and production to ensure we've got the right leadership before we actually grow our teams. But we've also got some sort of junior, intermediate, and senior roles on the website as well. So I'd encourage you to take a look at that. Now, very soon we're also going to be opening up our graduate recruitment campaign. So this was set up 4 years ago to give opportunities for graduates to land their first role, which many students come out of university wondering, well, how do I get my foot in the door into the industry? How do I get that experience? So we've sort of committed in our resource planning to allocating a certain number of our junior roles to graduates to make sure that we can identify sort of high potential grads, get them on board and really kind of start their career path and really sort of help upskill them. This is going to be the 5th campaign that we've run. So we've hired 60 graduates from all job disciplines since we started, and on average it takes these grads 21 months to be promoted for the first time, and some of our hires from 2017 are already taking on senior and leadership positions. So the platform is really here to sort of build an excellent career with us. Now, in terms of what you're working on now, unfortunately, I can't really say too much about this. Apart from that, it's a AAA open world project. Now, if you know Ubisoft, if you love Ubisoft, it's going to be awesome. But unfortunately, I can't say much more. So hopefully, this video will just give you a bit more insight into, like I say, life at Ubisoft and kind of what we're all about.
Incredible IP at Ubisoft. You just must be so made up to be working for them, Aaron. And you mentioned 2 games particular early on. Far Cry 6, I'm so excited for, and certainly Valhalla as well. I think Odyssey is still, for me, one of the best games of this generation.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And, there's so much going on at Ubi at the moment. We've got a few questions, which I'll get into in a second. But how is that for you? How's the community feedback for you, knowing all these IPs are getting so much love?
Yeah, I mean, personally, it's awesome because, being a sort of gamer all my life, I mean, working for one of the biggest studios in the world is like, it's mind blowing, to be quite honest. And sometimes I still wake up, I'm like, oh wow, I work for Ubisoft. Like that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, in terms of sort of seeing all the feedback and things like that, it's really testament to the hard work that our teams put in. So yeah, it's great to see.
And I can vouch, I mean, in a very different capacity, I have worked with Ubisoft when I hosted the Just Dance World Cup here in the UK. And you guys are just you're amazing to work with. You're so easy, so open. And I noticed that you're always interested in growth and wanting new people to come in and, showcase their abilities. And that is what I personally loved at my time working with Ubi.
Yeah, definitely, and I think growth and sort of progression is a real key part of what makes us successful. It's kind of it's not great if people are sort of stagnant in their roles and they're kind of sat, doing the same thing over and over again. We want to challenge people. We want to kind of make sure that people are learning new skills. We want to make sure that they're able to grow within Ubisoft, because obviously, if we can keep the best skills in house and keep upskilling our people, our games are only going to get better, right?
Absolutely. Right, let's get to a few questions from our community. So Kieran asks, what kind of things Ubisoft look for more generally in a portfolio?
Yeah, so I've actually kind of posted about this in our Discord chat as well, but for the benefit of everyone watching, generally we really want to see kind of a wide variety of examples. So especially for graduates, I mean, if you're kind of at university and you're showcasing just your university project, take a look at what other projects you've got involved in, showcase them on your portfolios, and kind of just get a wider variety of examples. I think it's also good to look at some of the more experienced people within the industry, take a look at their ArtStation portfolios if you're doing art, or sort of other portfolios websites, and get a feel for how they present themselves, and hopefully that will give you some inspiration into how you can present your portfolio.
Absolutely. And one last one from Daniel Corsa. For coding positions, are GitHub accounts with featured projects good for portfolio, or are Ubisoft looking for a more downloadable, playable experience?
I would say both. I mean, personally, I purely focus on the artistic side of things, although I do have some experience previously in coding. But I think sort of, GitHub repositories and GitHub, so, if you can share anything within that, then, that's always good to see the code behind it. But then if we can actually run it, see how it actually works and play it, then even better.
Brilliant. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. I feel like we could chat for hours. I really do. You're also going to be hanging around in Discord, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be on the Discord along with my colleague Andrew. So any questions, drop them in there, and we'll be here till about 6 o'clock to answer them all.
Awesome. Perfect. Aaron, thank you once again. I really appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Simon. Cheers.
Take care. Before we move on to our next guest, make sure you join the conversation by heading to our Discord, where you'll be able to talk to all of today's studios, ask them questions, including Aaron, of course. He'll be here till 6 from Ubisoft Leamington. Each studio will have their own designated tab where you can contact and interact. And don't forget, sign up to this event. Head over to Game Jobs Live, where you'll be able to sign up and get all of the goodies, including links to all of the positions at our studios moving forward. So let's get our next guest on. We're going to be joined by Into Games. These guys are going to be showing off some cool stuff and giving you a great insight. And here we have Declan to tell us more.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, you got here in the end. I was like, there's a transition coming. Welcome, Declan. How are you?
Yeah, very, very well. Thank you so much for having me here. How are you doing?
I'm very well. You know, lockdown isn't too bad for people like this. We get to do our own stuff and still speak and engage with the community. So, you know what? It's not too bad.
Awesome, man. That's good to hear. It was great seeing Ubisoft's presentation, wasn't it? Like that.
They're amazing.
That video. Wow. It's like, God, who wouldn't want to work there?
You know, I would love to. And they have so many incredible IP and so many cool things going on. But you guys have also got some cool things going on.
Yeah, completely. Should I get on? And
please do. Please.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, I'll try and share my screen now. Right, okay, here we go. Right then. Great. So hopefully you guys can see that. My name's Declan. I'm the CEO of Into Games, and Into Games is a non-profit careers service for anyone looking to get into the games industry. So that's probably people that are watching this right here today. So we have got the largest collection of kind of careers information and educational pathways available anywhere online about roles in the game sector. So if you head over to intergames.org, you can kind of browse through that and check that out yourself. Our sole mission is to help give you the guidance and support that you need to get a rewarding job in the game sector. So we do this through mentorship, online events, free masterclasses, and loads of interviews with top UK game staff. We're supported by Yuki and a whole bunch of game studios, so everything we do is free. So go and check us out. Go and see if anything on there might help you develop your own skills as somebody who wants to either get into games or somebody who might be already in games and might want to move across into another part of the sector. So kind of whether you're an old school pro or just starting out and just kind of a games career is a twinkle in your eye, you might be at school, you know, come and check out intergames.org. Go to our Twitter account, which is probably the best way of seeing what we're up to. So if you could head over to Intergames HQ, come and join us. And there's definitely be fascinating, interesting articles and bits and pieces for you every day. So I'm just here today to talk about our mentorship program specifically. We've been kindly given a few minutes to kind of talk about this. So this program can basically connect you directly to someone in the sector. So once again, it might be that you're not already working in games. So this is a fantastic way of career planning for you. Or it might be that you're already working in games and you might want to meet someone who's a little bit higher up the run than you, just to get a little bit of information about, you know, improving your own skills and where you might want to go with that. So all of this happens through Slack. So there's no geographic boundaries or anything to worry about, and you can answer and send questions in your own time. So, you know, obviously, you know, time is a big resource in the game sector. So it's really important that this is easy to actually flow and run with. So it's super convenient. There's online training for both mentors and mentees when you sign up, and we try to match people on their kind of preferences and, you know, career aspirations. So hopefully you'll be matched to somebody that's totally relevant for you. If you're already working in the industry a few years, we'd love you to come on as a mentor and help support a really wide range of mentees that we work with. Many are from underrepresented groups specifically. So you'll help provide kind of focus for them, deliver guidance exactly when somebody needs it, boosting their confidence and giving them a direction that they need to grow. So it's a really, really fantastic thing for you to do. We've already got mentors from Jagex, Sega, Sports Interactive, TT Games, Tonic, and the list just keeps on growing and growing and growing all the time. So you're part of a good crew. We now accept any age mentee over 16 years old, but we've got a preference for those who already have some games experience. So they might have made a few games in the past. They might be studying games. Obviously, if you're already in the game sector, that's a fantastic thing for us. But really, it's kind of mainly focusing on people who are definitely kind of know what specialism they want to go into, but it might be a kind of hazy journey for them at the moment. So giving some clarity over that for them. But really, if you're UK based and you want to get into the games, you should apply. Only takes 15 minutes to do an application form, and you can go to intogames.org/mentorship and all the information there, including kind of application bits. Just finally, before I shoot off, just a very quick plug. So if you want to boost your portfolio and have an awesome time while doing it, we run a bi-weekly game jam called SideQuest, which is supported by a different UK studio for each jam. Next week, we have a jam that's supported by people who actually, a studio that's delivering some stuff on this, probably in a few sessions' time, Codemasters. So if you want to join this, go to sidequest.org.uk, sign up there, and the jam's going to be judged by all the staff at Codemasters. So it's actually a really great way of maybe getting some of your work in front of their eyes and having a really, really good time while you do it. So do that. And if you have any information about anything that we do, or mentorship, or any other bits and pieces that we get up to, just send an email to hello@intogames.org. And do remember to go and join us on our Twitter as well. So we'd love to have you there.
Perfect. Declan, wow. I mean, you guys have got so many cool things going on. A very quick question for myself. Do you think the gaming industry now is moving away from that time of having fundamentals, and it's more accepting now to be able to come in, be trained, and be engaged and introduced to the industry?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a really big shift now, actually. I mean, obviously for many years, you had to be a graduate. Essentially, you had to go to university, had to get your degree, and it's still like that to a certain extent. But you're seeing a lot more studios now opening up more open roles to try and increase diversity where they can. So and you're also seeing the beginnings of apprenticeships in the games industry as well. I mean, there's a few ones at the moment, but aren't really being used. That's going to start to use more, hopefully, in the next couple of years. And certainly, internal training programs in a lot of studios are really gearing up to try and bring in more diverse people into the sector. So yeah, I think it's a really, really exciting time to kind of see that there's tons of different routes in, and certainly if you go to our careers section of our website, it's amazing how many roles there are in games, and people think it's either an artist, a programmer, or a designer, and actually that's not true at all. There's so many roles, and we've got over 100 on there, and we can't keep up. There's always new roles that just pop out of nowhere, So yeah,
it moves so quickly, doesn't it? This industry, it moves so quickly. But I really appreciate you joining us today. Are you going to be hanging around in Discord as well? People can come over.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Perfect. So. Declan, thank you so much. Absolutely fantastic to hear from you. So still to come, we're going to be hearing from Codemasters, Electric Square Games. We've also got a little bit of a live performance at the end of the show, but I'll tell you more about that later. Before we do move on, please make sure you sign up to the event and don't miss out on our links. There you'll be able to get all of today's jobs from the studios that we've had as guests, and you'll also be able to get all the little goodies in between and hear news on upcoming events. Also, do that by heading over to Games Jobs Live. You'll get all the links that you need right there. Now, are you ready for our next guest? I'm so excited about this. I am joined by Pete and Meg from a studio that I have proudly worked with in the future on multiple games. Guys, welcome from Codemasters. How are you?
Good, thank you, Simon. Yeah, very well. How's it going?
Yeah, it's good, thank you. How is life at Codes at the moment?
It's super busy, isn't it, Pete? So basically, Pete and myself, we work in recruitment. So yeah, we do see the sort of level of activity being extremely high right now. We're very, very busy. Of course, we're making games, so we have to keep the people coming through for the talent. So yeah.
Absolutely. And Pete, how about yourself? Are you finding now, certainly going into the busiest period of the year for games, are things ramping up for you guys? You've got a big launch coming soon as well.
It's not stopped, Simon. It seems to me that we've had a big launch most months that I've been here, and I've been here less than a year. So yeah, if this is what it's going to be like, more the merrier. Bring it on. The days fly by, and the people we get to speak to, from my point of view, it's just fascinating. I've been a fan of the industry since a little lad, so great to be a part of it.
It's an absolute pleasure to speak with you guys. I was fortunate to work on several titles at my time at Koch Media, the likes of Grid F1 and Rally. So I am so excited for your next Dirt title. I really can't wait. We're also joined, for Joel Thomas. How are you?
I'm good, Simon. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too. Now, guys, you've got some exciting stuff going on, so I'm just going to hand it all over to you. You can talk about all the awesome things that are happening at Codemasters.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, so I am hoping that you can see my screen now, which I will turn into a beautiful presentation. Here we go. Right, so yeah, welcome folks. Welcome to the Codemasters show. Great to be here. We're really pleased to speak about our life at Cody's with you and our vacancies here at Codemasters Towers. We thought we'd start off with a few trip down memory lane for you. How we made our name and a few favourite games there. Dizzy's already been mentioned, and this is probably the #1 requested game that people want to bring back. But so keep campaigning. You never know, it could happen. Obviously, you can see from our history that we have a very, very strong tradition of sport, competition, and in particular racing. So you'll know, I'm sure, that in latter years we've focused very much on the racing genre. And here are some of our titles. So quite a wide variety. When I joined Codemasters, I thought racing was kind of one thing. And I was wrong, because basically racing does actually encompass a very, very broad variety of challenges, not just for the player and the entertainment side and the different audiences that we address, but also the way the games are built behind the scenes and the way that we have our own bespoke engines in each case, including the Slightly Mad Studios titles that you'll see there, that actually are basically titles behind that title. There is an engine making it move for that exact title. So very, very wide variety, right through from the simulation end of the market, which is very difficult. I'm sure if you've played Dirt Rally or F1, you know how technical it can get. And then a little bit more fun. We've got Dirt 5 coming up very soon, folks. Our first title on next gen, which we are super excited about. So yeah, couple of declarations about our vision and mission there as well. So Pete, do you want to tell us a little bit more about Cody's?
About Cody's nearly as old as I am, which I was just thinking about earlier. So yeah, been going since '86, one of the oldest studios in the world. We're a multi-platform developer, but we're also a publisher, so that gives us a lot of, I suppose, added freedom and security. 3 main UK studios. So we've got the studio up in Cheshire, where they are hard at work finishing on Dirt 5. You've got Birmingham, where Jules is based, where the Formula 1 franchise continues to be a huge success and ran out of. And then you've finally got Southern, which is our kind of HQ, 2 teams there. So all in all, there's about 500, 600 staff. So we are pretty big, to say the least. And then we've got a couple of sites overseas, as you can see, in Malaysia and India. But as Meg alluded to, last year, to end the year, we acquired Slightly Mad Studios, again, another top tier, racing studio, been going for years.
Thanks, Pete. So I'm going to hand over to Jules for the Formula 1, the official Formula 1 game, which Codemasters proudly produce. And Jules is our tech director to tell you all about it.
Hello, everyone. As Meg said, I'm tech director for the F1 franchise at the Codemasters Birmingham office. The Birmingham team as a whole have been together for 20 years or more. We're obviously experts in F1. We've got state-of-the-art AI, physics simulation, motion captured animations, highly realistic visuals, which we strive for. We moved into a new office at Alpha Tower in the centre of Birmingham a year and a half or so ago. Just 10 minutes walk from New Street Station, so very easy to get to. The team's friendly, we're supportive, we have an inclusive atmosphere, we have plenty of social events once we all get back into the lovely COVID-safe office, of course. We've got some open roles on the team at the moment to join the programming team of over 50, but we still need some more. We're looking for a senior graphics programmer, senior network programmer, senior physics programmer, and a game programmer. I'm going to talk about the programmers at the moment. We are looking for a senior designer as well. What is it that we actually look for in programmers to join the F1 team? Well, we use an in-house engine. The game itself and the engine are written in C++, so that's the first thing that we look for. Strong C++. You'll need to be reasonably comfortable with it, even if you're just starting out. The game and the engine have been in development for over a decade, so we've got a mix of older style C++ 98, more modern C++ 11 and beyond. If you can read and understand some of Scott Meyer's programming books, and you can follow a CPPCon video on YouTube, then you'll probably do fine. Current team has also got a lot of experience and are there to help, so you won't get stuck. You should definitely be a lover of solving problems. I sometimes toy with the idea of our job adverts saying senior problem solver rather than senior programmer. I talk to Meg about that occasionally. You'll need to be comfortable working in a team as well, talking things over with other people, but we do want to make sure you get plenty of time to concentrate on something on your own when you need to. We'll make sure you get the space and time to think that you need. Like pretty much every other developer in the world, I think, we use Agile, Scrum-based development. That gives you the opportunity to manage a lot of your own work and time and show off what you've done every few weeks or so. We don't micromanage people, we try to build up trust instead. Now, for the specific roles that we've got at the moment, the graphics team will get to work on a mixture of low-engine systems and art-driven features. The network team on platform-specific networking technology, but also multiplayer gameplay features. Physics engine obviously is world-class. Anyone new joining that team will really be helping us push it towards even more realism. New game programmers that join the team don't have to worry about the possibility of getting bored with a game about cars going around a track all day, if anyone's worried about that. F1 gameplay is far richer and wider than that. Just have a look at some of the YouTube videos on the new F1 2020 My Team mode, for instance. Personally, I want everyone that joins the team to learn something new every day, which you almost certainly will. I want everyone on the team to grow along with the game itself. So thanks for your time. We hope to be getting applications from you soon, and I'll hand back to Meg.
Perfect. Thanks, Jules. I will mention the senior designer there as well, just to echo what Jules was saying about the variety. Yes, there's a lot of rules and regulations around how F1 has got to look and feel, but the challenges in that for a games designer are actually really, really strong, and enable you to work all sorts of new features and ideas, including narrative elements and, you know, driver sort of rivalries, etc., and things into the game which have sort of a real life echo too, of course. So it's a really challenging area for a games designer too. So yeah, just to talk a little bit about the Southern studio. So this is what, about a maybe 45-minute drive away from Birmingham, where Jules is. And this is our sort of business HQ as well. So the HR and finance and all those, you know, functions are there. So it's a very big site. It is the original birthplace of Codemasters. We very fondly walk past over lunchtime the Darling Brothers farmhouse, which is very nice, by the way. And the stables have unsurprisingly been converted into garages for very, very fancy cars. It's gorgeous. It's about 5.5 miles from Leamington. So nobody's heard generally of Southam, but trust me, it's not far away. And just if you were thinking of getting lost in between, we'll put a bus on for you. So if you do live in Leamington Spa, there is a free trip to work every day and back. Lucky you. It's hard to describe how nice the site is actually, but on a summer day, you can genuinely walk for an hour in the fields. Or you can play five-a-side football if you so wish, or pop to the gym, which is free. You don't need to be a member, you just turn up if you're an employee, and it's just great. We've got state-of-the-art equipment there, it's all brand new. We even have our own pub on site as well. So yeah, it's a very, very special place to work, and it's quite a unique proposition. We absolutely love it there. So what do we make over in Southam? Let's hear about the games. Pete, over to you.
Thanks, Meg. I was just thinking about the bus as well comes in handy if you want to end the day in the pub as well. So happy days there. So yeah, the Grid team, one of the two teams based in Southam. So last year's release, they're deep into production on the next project. And, you know, similar to Jules, we look for C++ in terms of programming. That is very key. But I think what we can offer is again, another bespoke engine. You can go as low level as you like. So I think that does bring a real, bunch of benefits for people who are looking to kind of really make the game their own. certainly as a studio, you know, the guys are able to do that. As you can see, we've got a number of roles there across a variety of disciplines. So lead graphics being one, engine, tools, technical art. So, you know, we're able, I think, to cater, and we're certainly interested in looking at a range of CVs. And then Meg, the next team is, thank you, is the Dirt Rally team. So again, multi-award winning project, again based in the Southern studio. Also deep into production in the next title, working very hard there. Interestingly, for the next title, they're busy working on Unreal, moving away from our in-house engine there, but also kind of implementing a lot of in-house tech alongside of the benefits of Unreal. They've got a few roles that we're still looking to fill. So yeah, game programmer, again, a technical art, but at a lead level there, and level design, which level design, you may think racing, you know, how complex are levels? Are they boring? Honestly, it's the absolute opposite. There's so much intricacy that goes into our levels, you know, the multiple layers, settings, environments. So yeah, I encourage any good level designer to please get in touch and speak to either myself or Meg.
Brilliant, thank you, Pete. Yeah, such a level of detail, I think, and that's the beauty of being a specialist for us here. There's a few elements of our values and culture I'll put on the screen there, but one of the sort of core cultural aspects is just that very deep absorption in our specialty. And what that does is it really opens up the door for people with a career, and it gives you opportunity with so many people working on so many games across the 3 sites in the UK. We do have a lot of choice to offer people in their career development, and whether that's a specialism or a generalism, we'll support that. As you progress through your career, you can either go into specialty, and that may mean management for you, but you might think, no, I don't want to manage anybody else. Thank you very much. I'm quite happy with me, myself, and my computer. And that's fine too, because we'll have technical or artistic specialisms as well. So we do like to support all different types of career aspiration. We've got our little rainbow flag there as well. We do want a more inclusive culture. We are involved heavily in things like the G Into Gaming initiative that Amicus run, and the UK's Raise the Game pledge. We're a very, very big believer in open opportunities for all. We welcome applications from all diversities of culture, neurodiversity, disability. Please do not let that put you off. We welcome everybody on board with us, and yeah, hopefully reward people for their efforts. Here's the dream team, Pete. Here we are. Jasmine, sorry, we had to leave Jasmine. Cinderella, she's manning the fort. Somebody's got to do the job while we're not here. But thanks for listening, guys. Yes. That's me.
Wow. Incredible. And there's so many things there that even, you know, educated me, which was incredible to see. It was great, and brought back so many memories as well, working on some of those games. Dirt Rally was a particular great one for me, especially went up to Wales and did the big press event. But there's a couple of questions, guys. Although we're running over, I'm going to try and get a few questions in. So one of them is from, let me get this name right, sorry, Jack Plex. Asking if familiarity with F1 itself is needed to work on the title.
I'll grab that one. Not particularly, no. So certainly for programmers that join the team, the most important thing is that you're really passionate about solving problems with code. In terms of F1, if you like it, that's great. But there's a mixture of people on the team already, some who are very, very passionate fans. I'm a big fan of the sport myself, even though I can't drive. But there are others who don't, and that's fine.
And talk to me how the teams are structured, guys, between various studios, obviously there with the Birmingham, the Southern one. How do you structure each team?
Yeah, so we basically have a team which is focused on a title. And so we have an all-encompassing full development lifecycle going on with the same group of people. So, you know, people prefer to take generally a title from concept right through to delivery. And then now we're in the games as a service remit. So are the tail, we call it, service tail, it's known in the industry. At the end, once you've had a release, actually will continue for a whole year. So usually our people will work on the same sort of title for about 2 to 3 years on a development life cycle. We do have some shared services as well. So we have things like artist, vehicle art, and some central functions like audio, which don't necessarily have to sit in a title, but they do have to be specialists in what they do. So it is quite complex the way that it's structured, but it hopefully gives people a lot of variety and choice.
Absolutely. For me, guys, we could sit here for hours talking. I wish I had that time with you. But please, when you go back to the offices, do say hello to Ross Gowan, Lee Mather, Lee Roberts, Chris Groves, and Sean White. Hopefully he's not being grumpy.
Never.
And never, ever. I had the pleasure of working with those guys. So, yeah, please do say hello. And thank you so much to all of you for joining. You are going to be on the Discord, I understand, to chat with some of our fans.
Thanks so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks, Simon.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Right, we're going to move on very quickly, guys. We're running behind. If you're enjoying this stream so far, do head over to our Twitter, Games Jobs Live. You can also make sure you're joining the conversation in the Discord, this thing below here. So let's move on now to a chat with a very, very good friend of the show, Adam Parsley. Welcome, Adam. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, thanks.
Good to see you. You're here to talk about some really cool stuff. So I'm just going to let you have the floor and do all your things, man.
All my things.
All your things, the things. So talk to me how things are with you, Adam. What's going on in the world of Adam Parsley right now?
So I'm just settling in at my new position.
Sure.
At Rivet Games, which I found from Games Jobs Live Scotland. It was on a couple of months ago. So I was sent a link to that from my university. The course leader sent a thing out to say that this event was on, and I applied to some of the companies there, and now I've started my role in August at Rivet, which is working on the train simulation content.
Oh, incredible.
Like Train Simulator World and Train Simulator, although it's mostly Train Simulator World now. So I'm working on the locomotive setup.
Now, you obviously you got through that role through here, Games Jobs Live, didn't you? You were directed, You watched the stream, and then you connected with the developers in the studio. Talk people through that process, because obviously there's people watching that don't know how to go around that and maybe feel nervous or, wondering where to begin. You had that opportunity and now you're working in the industry.
So the important thing for me when I was sort of applying for things was to make sure that I had my CV and portfolio ready. I think that was my portfolio in particular was something that I got asked a lot of questions about in the interviews, and they really liked to see projects at university that I'd done, my physics, and also game jams. They really liked to see the game jams. So when I applied for a few of the companies, I just either applied on their website or, in fact, for the one that I applied for at Rivet Games, I just sent an email straight to their CEO and said, hey, I'd like a job. Here's my CV and my portfolio. And then they contacted me back and said, yeah, we'll have a wee interview. And then it's just sort of explaining yourself. Yeah.
And how was that process of the interview? Because obviously it was all virtual and you managed to get things solidified through here. How was that process, that feeling of doing that interview?
Well, it's pretty nerve-wracking to do. Like you never know exactly what's going to happen. But everybody was really, really nice. I think there was 2 people on my first interview, and then I was called back for a second one, and then it was like a technical interview. So the first interview was just an introduction, just to see if they like me kind of thing. Do I fit in with the role? And then the second one was more of okay, do you know your stuff? Because particularly for the role I was going for, it's quite technical in terms of knowing physics and about engines, the way trains work, because it's all like a simulation. So I was getting asked questions about that. But I think it depends on place to place. Like there were other places I applied for that went really, really technical, and they had coding interviews and tests and things that you had to complete. So yeah, I don't know. It's pretty scary, but you never know what's going to happen.
I totally agree, and it is such a daunting industry sometimes, isn't it? And I think that's where you have to get over, that little speed bump to go, do you know what? I believe in myself. So what advice would you have for people watching this on just being able to get to that part of applying?
Well, if you can, I would create a portfolio website. But I would also say, don't wait for it to be perfect. My portfolio website was only like half done. I hadn't finished it. There was spelling mistakes. There was bits missing from it. And I got a job before finishing it because I just applied to places. I wouldn't wait for it to be totally perfect, but it does help to have things on there because on a day, you might not be able to know the answer to the question, or you might forget something. And it's good to be able to show this is what I can do. These are the areas that I specialize in.
And, it is about that, isn't it? Proofread, and make sure you've got everything intact, what you need to apply. Finally, Adam, would you recommend everyone or anyone watching Games Jobs Live?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. It's been a really, really good service. I didn't know that there was the company that I applied for. I didn't know it was based in Scotland, which is where I live. So that's where I wanted it to be. So I was looking at places and thinking, I'm going to have to move away. I'm going to have to move to England. And then when this thing came up, it was really, really excellent to see all the companies and all in one place and to be able to speak to them.
It's a great story, and I'm so happy that you managed to find, your dream role in the industry, your beginning, and it's fantastic to see you so happy with it as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Adam. We're about to hear from our final studio. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined the stream. Don't forget to tune into our Discord where you can join the conversation, and you'll be able to ask all of our talented individuals that you've seen on the stream questions about what's going on with their roles in studio at the moment. All you have to do is go to discord.gamesjobs.live and also sign up, and make sure you don't miss all the good stuff, including links to today's jobs from our studios that we've heard from today. Right, let's get my next guest on. It's been such an exciting stream, guys. I'm so pumped, as you can tell. I'm fluffing my words, but it's good. We're rocking and rolling with it. So I'm joined now by Guy DeRosa from Electric Square. Guy, did I get that last name right?
You did, Simon. Hiya.
Hi, how are you? How is life?
Yeah, life's good. Life's good. Sort of stuck in my mini prison, but otherwise I can't complain.
And what's going on with Electric Square? You guys building some exciting projects at the moment?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to telling you a bit more about it. We've had quite a big year. It's been a little bit different for us because I think that whilst it's been a challenge for probably all studios that are trying to recruit this year, we've tried to open 2 brand new ones during 2020, so you can imagine it's been quite a challenging time.
I can imagine. Well, I'm just going to hand the floor over to you, Guy, and let you do your thing because people are just going to be fed up of me rambling. So, Guy, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Let me get my little presentation in order for you. So you'll have to forgive me. As you can see, I'm trying out somewhat of a Minority Report kind of a presentation today. We're going to see how that goes. But I'm really looking forward to telling you a bit more about Electric Square and specifically our brand spanking new Leamington Spa studio. So the first question is, who are we? We were founded in 2015, originally in Brighton. We're well known for our world-class developments on huge IPs. We work with huge, big partners on global projects, and a couple of the projects that we've worked on previously, you're probably going to recognize a little bit later on in the presentation. It's important to point out at this stage that we work on different kinds of platforms and we work in different engines as well, because we're a multi-project environment. So yeah, there's quite a lot going on, and there's quite a varied amount of developments that we have going on. So as I mentioned, we did start in Brighton. We have 130 staff based here in Brighton, but as fortune would have it, we decided to expand just before coronavirus hit in 2020 in 2 different locations, basically at the same time. Those locations are Singapore and Leamington Spa. So Singapore has a headcount of 15 staff currently. We're looking to grow that to approximately 50 people, probably over the next couple of years or so. If you are interested in positions there, then do let me know. However, we're probably going to be talking more so about the Leamington Spa studio today. Again, so Leamington Spa was ever so scuppered by coronavirus in terms of the recruitment plans that we had. But we have a headcount of 11 people at the moment, and we are looking to grow that to about 50 staff coming into going through 2021. Now, in terms of our unique culture, we're a global studio, but we like to remain personal. We like to remain local. What we mean by that is, whilst we have this brilliant culture, an award-winning template of what makes a great game studio, we're really looking forward to the other studios growing and celebrating kind of individuality and their own uniqueness. What have we done so far? So things that you might recognize us for. Let's start with Hot Wheels ID. Hot Wheels ID was a toys to life development, always challenging. You've got the biggest selling physical toy in the world, and we're trying to bridge the gap over to a digital development. It was full of challenges. We worked on that for 2 years with Mattel. Really proud of what we have there, and it's available on iOS and Android for free if you're interested in checking that out. More recently, we have released Forza Street. So Forza, again, it's a globally renowned multi-billion-pound franchise. Our challenge was to create the first ever mobile development version of that, and it was challenging for a number of different reasons. But to make that kind of an experience, or bring the Forza experience into a one-touch mobile kind of system, was really difficult, but it's doing really well. And again, it's available for free on iOS and Android if you want to check that out. So another string to our bow is Reactor. Reactor is our in-house R&D team. Now, it's really pushing the boundaries of what traditional games development can do. For more information on Reactor, we do have opportunities there too. Just please let me know. As you can see here as well, we also provide workshops on ray marching, on machine learning. It's as I say, it's quite a good string to our bow. Coming back to something that I mentioned previously, we have 2 games that are actually released out there. Both of them are racing games, both of them are mobile. And I just want to address the fact that we're a multi-project studio with a lot more going on than is just kind of racing games. So to give you some examples without breaking NDA, we're working on a character action VR game. We're working on our own IP on an Apple Arcade title. We're working on a character action AAA console title, which is going to be brand spanking new IP, as well as another more car-centric mobile development too. So yeah, there's something for everybody there. Now, things that we care about. I know that everybody cares about the environment, but we really do go above and beyond with this. So we were just recognized about 2 weeks ago at gamesindustry.biz's Best Places to Work Awards as the best in class for our corporate social responsibility. A major part of that is we're one of the only game studios in the UK that has actually become carbon balanced, and we're actually striving towards becoming carbon neutral. It takes a lot of work and a lot of monetary investment to reach that kind of status, and we're really proud of it. Diversity and inclusion is incredibly important. We've really shaped up our diversity inclusion policies and initiatives this year. We've just kicked off our very own diversity inclusion board with volunteers from our existing teams taking part. We've just kicked off a new partnership with Baming Games, which is a mentorship program that is going to be kind of a matchmaking online service. So again, anything like this that's of interest to you, do let me know. We like to bring young talent through. Another new initiative that we've brought out is called Developing Minds, which is going to create a platform to support young talent that wants to break through, talking to experts from Electric Square on the best kind of course of action to become experts within their separate fields and disciplines. We have a great family culture here. So part of the things that I like to usually point out as to what that means is nobody from at Electric Square seems to be from where their studio is based. So the Leamington Spa team, the Brighton team, the Singapore team, no one seems to be actually locally born and bred. Everybody sort of moves there from either overseas or at least different cities from within the same sort of region. It means that we're all kind of newbies. And for that reason, it means that we therefore kind of rely on one another socially as well as professionally. We haven't got just our families up the road or our school friends to go and see on the weekend. And it makes for a really nice family culture within ourselves. We offer you a unique award-winning culture. So you can see below here, our Glassdoor rating is currently 4.7 out of 5 stars. Now, it's a shameless plug, but what we've learned from Glassdoor is that the games industry standard, the average, is 3.3 stars. So we're incredibly proud of the 4.7 rating that we have. We've won 2 awards for the best places to work already. We are all working at the moment remotely. However, in the future, of course, we are going to be going back to the studios. Everybody that we're employing at the moment is being onboarded remotely. You're not going to be kind of rushed to get into the studio, and we're going to be more flexible going forward for staff that can maybe do kind of part remote setups and bits and pieces like that. So kind of watch this space, because we're just sort of determining how that's going to work, but we're certainly going to be more flexible. And if you do need to move when you start work with Electric Square, then you will receive financial bespoke relocation assistance. We can sponsor visa, people that need a visa, basically. And we've got an industry-leading perks and benefits package, which is about 2 pages long. It includes kind of pension, work, health insurance, dental insurance, a £50 voucher for health and well-being every month that you can use on either the gym or just getting a massage. It's completely down to you. That includes mental well-being as well. It's a fantastic benefit. We're dog friendly as well, kind of world famous for having our dogs running around the studio, which is always great fun. And we've got really, really great project bonuses too. Now, our current openings, and this is specific to Leamington Spa, include animator, VFX artist, gameplay programmer, a technical lead, a senior gameplay programmer, an R&D programmer, and narrative designer. Now, while they are the positions that we have open today, if you don't see your particular role listed there, please still get in touch with me, because as I mentioned, we are growing. We're growing all of our studios, and we're probably going to need people from every different discipline, really, over the course of time. So we'd love to hear from you. If you think that you would be a good contributing factor to our culture, and you know you're good at what you do, then please do get in touch. Even if that's speculatively, even if you want to email me, contact me on LinkedIn. You're more than welcome to do that. And here are my details, which I'm just going to leave up for a moment, and then I'm going to throw you over to a little video of ours. Now, our Leamington Spa studio that we're speaking more specifically about today still hasn't kind of opened the gates just as yet, because we've been locked down. But what I want to do is just show you a video that shows the Brighton studio and a little bit of insight of the games, the quality, and the kind of environment that you'd expect to work in. So hopefully we can go to that video now.
What a dream it looks to be working at Electric Square. Dog friendly as well.
Dog friendly as well. Oh yeah, but you know, as soon they'll come running over to. As soon as they see that you don't have the treats for them, they lose interest very quickly.
One thing I also picked up from that guy is you're a natural in front of the camera. I think you should be here where I am. You're just so smooth at hosting and presenting.
No chance. No way. Do you know what? I was looking at you before and I thought, thank God I don't have to do that. What you don't see is me picking my nose under the desk here.
So talk to me about the culture within Electric Square. You've got so many good, amazing projects going on, but what's it like being within that culture? There's so much diversity there.
Yeah, sure. You know, personally, it's the first time that I've actually been working for any company whereby everybody seems to trust one another first and foremost. And that sounds like a silly thing to say. I'd never noticed it until I started working at Electric Square, though. There's incredible trust and I think kind of respect throughout the studio. You know, we have a mantra that there's no egos at our studio. You know, the boss doesn't have an office kind of in an ivory tower. He sits right in amongst everybody. And I think that, yeah, we put a lot of kind of emphasis on everybody having a voice, you know, and your ideas and questions and opinions are always welcome here. And yeah, it really travels through the studio and I think it works very well.
It's an incredible thing to hear. After working the AAA studios myself, I know what it can be like, but it sounds like you guys value that, how important it is for everyone to just chime in and, you know, share their ideas and thoughts. There's a little bit of advice for anyone watching. Are there any red flags to applications? What would you advise not to include?
Good question. So, do you know what? One of the things that I would suggest is that, well, it's more things to include, actually, if you don't mind. Sure. My best advice is just to make sure, you know, if you're an artist, make sure that your portfolio is something that you're totally proud of, you know, something that's fully up to date. If it is fully up to date, I promise you, then you're already beating 80% of your competition, because for some reason, portfolios are never up to date. They're never quite showing everybody's best work, and I think that should be kind of fundamental. Something else that I would really advise to everybody is that we know we're in a hugely competitive industry, you know, and it's daunting. We know that. I think that people are terribly British sometimes, and what I mean by that is very polite. If you send your application over to the likes of myself or any of the guys that have been speaking today, and I'm sure they'll echo the same thing, don't be afraid to follow up on it, because at any time we might have between 100 to 200 people applying for positions, and just because we haven't come back to you right away, it doesn't mean that it's because you're not the right person for the job. It just means that there's a lot, you know, to contend with. We're spinning a lot of plates. Quite often somebody that would come and check in a week later and say to me, hey Guy, don't know if you saw my CV and my covering letter, but I popped it over a week ago. I was wondering if you have an ETA on when I might get some feedback. I'm straight away, I'm going to look at that person's information, because they know why they're applying. They haven't just shot their CV left, right and center. And it instantly gives me the feeling that they're probably going to be quite good. You know, so yeah, be persistent. Don't be too polite, I think.
Persistency is key. Absolutely. Guy, I feel like we could do this for a long time. I really do. I love the energy that you give off. You know, if we ever cross paths at trade shows, whenever that may kick off again, I'm going to just get a camera and point and ask you to talk. I don't know what about, but we'll figure it out.
That's dangerous.
Thank you so much for joining us. And you're going to be in Discord as well, aren't you? Chatting to the guys.
We have the entire Leamington Spa team waiting. All the directors are there waiting for your questions. So please do, plow in.
Perfect. Discord.gamesjobs.live. Guy, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, what a packed show this was. Colin, welcome back. How exciting was that stream? So many incredible studios working on so many memorable, prestigious IPs. And I just felt so excited for the studios talking and offering out these services.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we've a little bit of a different format today, but great to get a bit more time from everyone and hear from like the Codemasters, hearing from a number of different areas in Codemasters. So yeah, I a bit more in depth today. I think really valuable. Obviously, fantastic to hear from Adam, who's got his job because of these events. I think that's really cool. I don't always hear when people have got a job through these, but I do hear periodically, and it's so uplifting to hear and makes it all worthwhile. So it's great.
It's certainly been worthwhile, and for everybody now who's thinking, how do I get into that games jobs world? It is a tough thing to kind of get over, and these sort of things, they help. And hearing from studios such as Codemasters, Electric Square, they're sort of telling you what they look for in a CV, and that helps by miles. It really does. It's really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll just wrap up. We've got a little bit of a change. We've got a bit of entertainment
nice.
following us, because the studios are still on for another half an hour. I think Codemasters had some technical problems with the Discord, so apologies for that. I think they are now on, so do jump onto the Discord and ask Codemasters your questions. Very worst case, all their details are in the email that should be landing with you right about now if you've registered. What we'll do, we'll run a quick quiz just for fun. So if I queue that up in the Discord, because there's a broadcast delay, these things always go slightly out of sync. But we'll do a quick quiz. So we'll start that off just now. Have a look in the general channel on the Discord. And it's just starting. So first question is, where in Southeast Asia have Electric Square recently opened their 4th studio? So these are questions for people that have hopefully been paying attention and taking notes throughout the stream. Let's see, how many people have we got? Oh, we've got a whole bunch of people got that one right. That's good.
Yeah.
Second question, how many Midlands studios do Codemasters have? I interviewed there 30-something years ago, I think. No, that's not quite right. 27 years ago or something.
Wow.
I never got the job. I wasn't good enough. I think we've got plenty of people here today that are better. They'll get them.
I don't know. Maybe you should have a word with Meg. Maybe there's an opportunity for you now.
What radio station did Simon start out at?
Oh,
there's a tough question. I'm not the most creative person. The third answer there is Radio Gaga. I'm not sure that might be a red herring though. So.
That was Queen.
Fourth question, at which recent Games Jobs live event did Adam find his current job? He did mention he was pleased that it was a studio he hadn't heard of previously because he wanted to stay close to home. So I'm delighted that he found out about them and got a job through that.
And you look so happy, and it's what dreams are made of, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's great stuff. And then a final question, how many different nationalities do Ubisoft have across their UK studios? And it's not just Scottish, English, Welsh, and Irish. It's a little bit more than that. So.
It is.
Okay, time's up. I think we've got 5 people that got all the answers right. So Snowy Owl, Rocketman, Dan, Ben Swatton, Shib, and Squid General 10. Very well done.
Congratulations. Well done.
I think if Eventbrite has behaved itself, everyone should have an email now with all the jobs from all the companies. So please do follow up. They're in the Discord for the next half an hour, but after that, get applying for jobs that you think you're a good fit for. There's a friend of mine who's got a graduate app programming job. I've stuck that in as well. So send me applications. I'll pass that on as well. If you've enjoyed this stream, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's really useful. We've got a couple of other things coming up as well. Really exciting, although it's giving me a massive headache this week. We have another stream tomorrow. So this isn't a Games Jobs live stream. This is a charity stream for Special Effects, who are an amazing charity that do brilliant work. This is coming up at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So Thursday, the 1st of October, 8 o'clock UK time. And if I just bring up some of the speakers here, I mean, these are world leaders in games. I mean, we've got Craig Duncan, who's the head of studio at Rare, a local studio for today. We've got Sefton Hill, who's the co-founder of Rocksteady, that have done
All the Batman series,
Arkham Asylum and everything. We've got Andy Payne, who's a UK games industry legend. Rovio, we've got Space Ape Games. We've got Craig Fletcher that set up Multiplay. And the one I've confessed to fanboying over is Tim Schafer. So if you like your LucasArts, if you like your Double Fine adventure games, we've got Tim Schafer joining us live tomorrow night. And on top of this, we have tons of amazing prizes. The live stream is free to watch. We're selling tickets to raise money for Special Effects. There are prizes worth thousands. There are prizes that you cannot buy even if you have thousands. So join us on the live stream tomorrow. Whether you buy tickets or not, it should be a great night. We are also running a game jam next month. So I'll probably put out an email about this next week, called Game Parade. And I think it was Adam that said how valuable recruiters find people's game jam submissions. So this is another great opportunity. The point of this game jam is to put your great work in front of the studios. So we've got a whole bunch of industry judges, the people that have been presenting at previous Games Jobs Live events are judging this. So you're getting your chance to put your games right in front of them. And we've also got a really cool, massive household name getting involved. I'm sworn to secrecy. I can't give the details, but it should be announced in the next couple of days. So the game jam next month should be awesome. Look out for the link about that. There'll be a survey in the link in the email that you've just had. Fill that out. Let us know what you think about these events. I'd like to thank Barclays again for sponsoring tonight. I'd like to thank all our companies. I'd like to thank Electric Square. I'd like to thank Codemasters. I'd like to thank Ubisoft. It's so good of them to give up their time and come and join us and chat in the Discord. And Simon, of course, thank you so much to you. It's been great having you.
I've really enjoyed this. Thank you very much once again for the invitation. And yeah, tomorrow's stream, I'm going to tune in myself. I would have a lot of questions for Sefton Hill, to be honest. But I'm looking forward to checking that out. But I've really enjoyed this, and it's so great that this industry can come together. Things like this that you're doing, Colin, are just bringing the industry together to invite more people into it. It's incredible.
Absolutely. So if you're a Batman fan, and it sounds like you are, I would recommend checking Sefton's Twitter tonight, because he may be putting out a tweet polling for opinions on what he should drill into tomorrow, and there might be some options that could be particularly interesting. So follow Sefton Hill from Rocksteady if you're planning on tuning in tomorrow. On that note, I think we're done. We're really lucky tonight in that we've got some entertainment whilst you're chatting to the companies in the Discord. So we'll say good afternoon, good night. Simon, thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
And what I'll do is I will bring in the one and only Jukebox James, who are going to be playing us out with some entertainment while we chat to everyone in the Discord. And I will be running some polls in the Discord for you to choose which song gets played next. So let us say cheerio for now, and we'll bring in Jukebox James. Thank you.
Hello. Good evening. I hope everyone has enjoyed the live stream, and I hope you're all in the Discord chatting with all the other companies. So we'll get cracking. My name's Jim. I'm going to play some tunes for you. As Colin mentioned, you can get in there, check out some of the songs that I play, pick what you might want to hear, and I'll do my best to play what people want. But we'll kick it off with something like this. Well, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. We were victims of the night. Chemical, physical, kryptonite. Helpless to the best and the fading light. We were bound to be together, bound to be together. She took my arm. I don't know how it happened. We hit the floor. She said, don't you dare look back. Keep your eyes on me. I said, you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Backless dress and beat up streets. Discotheque, Juliet, teenage dream. Felt it in my chest when she looked at me. We were bound to be together, bound to be together. She took my arm. I don't know how it happened. We hit the phone. She said, don't you dare look back. Keep your eyes on me. I said, you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Deep in her eyes, I think I see the future. I realize this is my last chance to take my arm. I don't know how it happened. We hit the floor. She said, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance. Don't you dare look back. Keep your eyes on me. She said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Shut up and dance with me. Thank you. I'm just going to turn down a little bit in case I'm peaking. Okay. Oh. Okay, someone's asked for something that I play very rarely, but we'll do it. We'll do it. Okay. Apologies if the quality is glitching a little bit. Hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully the audio is coming through nicely as well. Let's see how this one goes. Think of your future. Right out. causing problems in town. Rudy, a message to you, Rudy. A message to you. Stop you messing around. Time to think of your future. Time to straighten right out. Lest you wind up in jail. Rudy, a message to you, Rudy. A message to you. You're messing around. Better straighten right out. Time to think of your future. Lest you wind up in jail. Rudy, message to you, Rudy. A message to you, Rudy. A message to you, Rudy. A message to you. Okay. Getting a couple more requests. This one should be fine. This thing called love, well I can't handle it. This thing called love, well I must get around to it. I ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love. This thing called love, well it cries like a baby in a cradle all night. It swings, it jives. Shakes all over like a jellyfish. I kinda like it. Crazy little thing called love. There goes my baby. She knows kind of rock and roll. She drives me crazy. She gives me hot and cold fever. She leaves in a cuckoo sweat. I gotta be cool, relax. Get here, get on my tracks, take the back seat, hitchhike, take a long ride on my motorbike until I'm ready. Crazy little thing called love. Gotta be cool, relax, get hip, and get on my tracks. Take back seat, hitchhike, and take a long ride on my motorbike until I'm ready. Crazy little thing called love. This thing called love. Well, I must get around to it. This thing called love. Well, I can't handle it, ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love. 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 Thank you. Right. Okay, let's find this one for you. Loving you isn't the right thing to do. How can I ever change things that I feel? If I could, baby, I'd give you my world. How can I when you won't take it from me? You can go your own way, go your own way. You can call it a night, a lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. Tell me why everything changed around. Backing up is all you wanna do. If I could, baby, I'd give you my world. Open up, everything's waiting for you. You go your own way, go your own way. You call it another lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. Thank you very much. Okay, we've got another one. Another request. The only issue with all these requests is I have to actually learn my alphabet because everything's in alphabetical order and I've got to go and find it. We'll do this one for you as well.
To New Orleans, check out the one behind the evergreens. Stood along with the earth and wood. Lived a country boy named Johnny Good. Never really learned to read or write so well, but he could play the guitar just like a ring in the bell. Go, 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 Johnny, go, go, go. 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 Johnny the Good used to carry his guitar in a gun and sack, sit beneath the tree by the railroad track, while the Angelos would hear him playing in the shade, strumming to the rhythm that the drivers made. People pass by would stop and say, "Oh man, the country boy can play." Go, 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 Johnny, go, go, go. 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 Johnny the Good. Someday you will be a man. You will be the leader of a big old band. Everybody coming from a mountain to hear you play your music when the sun goes down. Maybe one day your name will be in the lights, saying, "Johnny, be good tonight." Go, 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 go. Go, Johnny, 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 go, go, go. Johnny be good. Go, go. Go, Johnny, go, 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 go, go. Johnny be good. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Never had much faith in love or miracles. Never wanna put my heart on the line. But swimming in your water is something spiritual. Born again every time you spend the night. 'Cause your sex takes me to paradise, and your sex takes me to paradise, and it shows. Yeah, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long. For too long, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. bring me to my knees, you make me testify. You can make a sinner change his ways. Open up your gates, 'cause I can't wait to see the light. Right there's where I wanna stay. 'Cause your sex takes me to paradise, and your sex takes me to paradise, and it shows. Yeah, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. You make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Can I just stay here? Spend the rest of my days here. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Can I just stay here? Spend the rest of my days here. You make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. You make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to do one more for you, and you've picked a bit of a belter to finish with. Let's get my guitar nice and in tune. I get to use my fuzz pedal, which makes me especially happy. I'm gonna fight them all. A 7-nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. And the feeling coming from my eyes says leave it alone. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everyone knows about it. From the Queen of England to the hounds of hell. And if I catch you coming back my way, I'm gonna touch to you. And that ain't what what you want to hear, but that's what I'll do. And the feeling coming from my bones says find a home. I'm going to Wichita, far from this opera forevermore. I'm gonna work the straw, make sweat drip out of every pore. And I'm bleeding and I'm bleeding and I'm bleeding right before the Lord. All the words are gonna bleed from me and I will sing no more. The stains coming from my blood, just go back home. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening. My name's Jukebox James. You can find me at www.jukeboxjames.co.uk if you're looking for me. I'm originally a local boy myself from Burton-on-Trent, born and raised. So also from the Midlands. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening and the rest of your week. I hope you've had a good chat with some of the companies that have been on the stream. Thanks very much. Good night.